That's interesting. Am I back, guys? Do you see me live? Hang on one second. I'm sorry, Chess Sweat. It looks like I may have been disconnected. Oh, Jollification says I am live again. Hang on. Hang on, guys. Let me. Okay. All right. I think we're okay. I closed a couple things because my computer was running super hot. So yeah, I'll accept the rematch. Here we go. Sorry about that. Okay, we are good. And is there an echoing problem with you guys? Let me know if the audio is okay. Okay, great. Great. No echoing problem. We are good then. All right. So we started out, and Chess Sweat is using a hyper modern system, but then put the D5 in there, so we have like a Grunfeld. But I'm going with the Tory attack named after Carlos Tory. It's very simple. Like I said, I'm a little out of practice with the playing chess live. Oops, I didn't mean. So in the Tory attack, you just want your pawns there and your pieces here. It's more of a system than an opening. I get this nice wedge and just maintain a center pawn. I'm not going for the extra space right away that we normally see. Um, and I'll go ahead and castle. Yeah, Carlos Torre was a great chess player from Mexico. And he played with guys like Capablanca and Lasker. So just to give you a time frame. Let's see, what do I want to do here? Well, I'm going to go ahead and play a3, and that way if I do play c4, his knight can't go to b4 and bug me. I'm going to sip my coffee while Chess Sweat is thinking. Okay, so that likely looks like a mistake. I can just take that with my bishop, and I'm pinning the knight. and I'm a pawn ahead. He's putting the question to my bishop, should I keep the pin or should I exchange? Because it's more than just being a pawn ahead. My opponent now has an isolated pawn already. I'm gonna keep the. I see some other challenges. I play one game at a time though. I'm gonna go ahead and keep the pin. Now this was a good move, Chess Sweat, because my next move was supposed to be knight e5 to put pressure on the pin, and you just bugged me. So I'm going to play h3, put the question to your bishop, and you're going to find that your pin's a little harder to maintain than mine. I'm fidgeting with a little queen eraser. I think it's an eraser. I'm not even sure how it got to my desk, but seems fitting. Okay, now if I go to trap his bishop, check this out, guys. If I go to trap the bishop, he has some dangerous looking sacrifices. Knight takes, so g4, knight takes, sorry about my arrows, pawn takes, and then he could go bishop or queen. Queen's probably best with the check, and I'm in a little bit of trouble there. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and take the knight now, because this should pull the queen off the dangerous diagonal. And now I'll go ahead and play g4. Okay, so I don't much like that pin at all. That pin being his bishop on my knight to my queen. Let's see. But I have a, no, that doesn't, yeah, I have a cool little move. The knight e5 threatens his queen. So if he takes my queen, I take his queen, kind of thing. So I can undo the pin. Now if bishop takes knight, then my queen takes his bishop. So this should work. Yeah, I was thinking it might be if I played the g4 without pulling his queen off Jollification. I was thinking, yeah, I would like it to be a 10-0 game, Rohan. And as you can see, I'm a little out of practice. I haven't been streaming a lot lately, and I need to get back into the zone of being able to talk while playing chess and drawing arrows, all that multitasking, reading the chat, right? Okay, so he does play queen, I'm sorry, bishop takes knight, and so that means I can play queen takes bishop. So I undid that annoying pin. So far, Chess Sweat's playing a pretty good game. He made the mistake with that pawn to b5 and then maybe getting his bishop trapped. Let's see. But I'm only, 2 points ahead. I'm gonna keep my queen in the same file as my opponent's king. There is an echo now. Sorry about that. Yeah, I notice, sometimes my computer slows down a little bit with the bit rate. Okay, so he puts an extra barrier. He puts his bishop back, saves the bishop. Well, there's a couple things I could do here, but I think playing e4 looks promising, because then I'm using this knight and queen together to gain more space in the center. Interesting. I could play, I could trade. I certainly could. But I like to control things. If I open up the e-file, maybe Chess Sweat gets his rooks in the e-file and so I'm gonna keep it closed, keep more space, and maybe work on getting rid of his bishop on g7. No need to let him take on b2. Okay, so he's thinking of, he's clearly thinking about stacking his rooks. I'm going to go ahead and challenge his bishop right now. Okay, so he's stacking. He actually used his queen. I'll go ahead and take care. Using his queen means I have another defensive measure because, see, his queen was in the c file previously, so if I move the b pawn, I lose c3. But now I can actually move the b pawn, and that's important to me. Be able to do that. That's an easy solution to defending. So the question is, yeah, I'm going to go b4. Okay. And my knight is a close range attacker. It would like to move toward the king, but I see an opportunity here to kind of wait. Yeah, he could do a sacrifice. Let's see. What do I want to do here? And I'm getting a little low on time too. I'm really playing like my handle today, CoachTortoise. I'll bring my knight over here. It still seems like a good move. It's en route not to a5 because he could take a5. See, if I do this, then he's got two attackers because of the battery there, and I only have one defender. It's en route to c5. It's a very nice outpost on my opponent's side of the board. Cool. All right. And in fact, I have a nice little tactical fork here. Most chess games are just won with basic tactics. All right. And let's see. I think it might be time to bring Mr. Queen, or Mrs. Queen. Haha, Mr. Queen. What are you talking about, Chris? Up to g5 and route to f6. And then I need to make note of who I've played. So I've played Chess Sweat. And that way, hopefully I get a chance to play a bunch of you. Not the same person twice. Let's see. I'd really like to... I'm still going to go Queen f6. I'm threatening Queen f7 check. I'm thinking he's going to... Yeah, he's going to put his rook there. And then here's my plan. I take here, he takes back with his queen. I move my rook up, and then I can stack my rooks in the b file. So I get some coordination of rooks. And let's see my time at 2:39. I need to play a little bit faster. Okay, so I've allowed him to infiltrate my camp, but he doesn't have useful checks. Let's see. If I go for that right away, no, that's not good. I'll go ahead and scoot this pawn up. It is a pass pawn. It should give him, you know, a little bit of concern. Okay, I'll be happy to trade queens. I have two rooks, he only has one. I get a rook behind the pass pawn. You would go to your play section on chess.com, and then it says, you know, you could send me a friend request too. That might make it easier for you. So you could send a friend request to Coach Tortoise, and then when you go to the play thing, it'll say play a friend, and then you find my name. It might make it easier. And if some of you know better than me, go ahead and, yeah. Let us see. Help our friends at Campover send me a challenge if you know a better way. But I think, you know, just sending me a friend request seems probably easiest. And then I'll accept friend requests after this game, and then you can send me challenges. Got him cut off. I'll come down here. And I should be able to play rook b1, get him to the A file. And then I'm going to swing it all. Wait, you know, I don't actually have to. I can just kill a move, huh? There we go. That's faster. And he's got to move, and then he's not guarding the A file anymore. I almost just took a longer approach than necessary. All right, let me look at my friend requests real fast. And then I will look at my challenges. Wants to be friends? Yes. Wants to be friends? Yes. Wants to be friends? Yes. Okay. And then Jollification sent me a challenge. Oh boy. All right. Let's do it. Okay. Why can't I accept this challenge? That's weird. That was weird. I don't know what happened there, Jollification. I accepted it and then it like went away. I'll try you again, all right? There we go. For some reason it didn't want to. Can everybody see the chessboard on my stream? Oh, Jollification's going to use the Danish Gambit. Good, 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 good. Up, but he's not. He plays f4. Huh, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Very interesting. Let me think about this. All right. So he's got a pawn on e4 and f4, like a king's gambit, but I've got a pawn on d4 early. I want to, you know, knight c6 just defends my pawn. It's his secret opening prep. Yeah, he was mentioning this the other day, huh, Rohan? I remember that now. Let's see. Then I'll play d6 to control e5 a little bit more. Also opening up a line for my bishop. Controlling e5 is important because I don't want him to like push this forward and release the energy of this bishop after I've castled, stuff like that. That wouldn't be very good. Alright, just making sure I can play my knight f6 right now. I think I should be able to. Making sure. I mean, bishop g4 is a little tempting too. But knight f6. When you're faced with unusual openings, it's okay to take a little bit of extra time. All right. And he is castled. Good for you. Good job. You've got a pawn in the center. You've castled. Your rooks are not unified yet. Now I pin the knight because I brought a knight out over there now. I'd like to get castled too. That would be great. Now, conventionally, you know, playing bishop e7 looks like the best idea right now, but I'm actually thinking about fianchettoing. It might be fun to fianchetto. Might be. Yeah, I'll go ahead and play g6. Okay. And then I must take, or back up along that diagonal. So I'll take, trade pieces, fianchetto, and here comes that e5. We knew it was, you know, on the agenda. There's no reason not to take the first one. The second one, maybe there's a reason. But the first one, there's no good reason not to take it. Question is, where do I want to put this knight? I could go here, or out here. And both of those seem pretty good. Or even here is reasonable. Let's see. I have to be careful with Jollification. He's beaten me before, so need to be careful. I'm looking ahead a couple moves, a couple knight moves ahead. Couple knight moves ahead. I'm going to come out here. Oh boy, lots of good requests. It's fun to play with you guys at, you know, chess camp. Like I said, I'm out of practice, you know, talking while playing, and you know, it's good to get back and practice with that too. But it's just fun to. Okay, hey, good move. Develop with a threat against my queen. I like it. Good job. And let's see. I'm going to go ahead and do that. What a strange position. Knight on c6 generally doesn't go to e7. I could have played queen d7. But I want to get castled. And then I'm banking on the fact that my bishop's going to be... Ah, see, he's going after. That's not friendly. He's saying, if you castle, I'm going to get rid of your bishop. I was just about to say, oh, I'm banking on the fact that my bishop will be stronger, longer. And then you go and do that. Good move. 2 good moves in a row. Good for you. All right. I'm going to go ahead and castle. So be it. And he's going to play bishop h6, no doubt. And we knew that was a strong potential. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop my knight in here. So now, Jollification has a decision to make. Does he want to get rid of my super fianchetto bishop, which is usually a good strategy, or does he want to get rid of my outpost knight? He does not get to do both. Aha, he goes with outpost knight. And let's see. Now I could move this knight forward while attacking his queen, and that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Yeah, Jollification is a good chess player. He's been doing these camps for many, many years. Him and Blitz Wizard. There's a few players who have really been doing these a long, long time. And Blitz Wizard wasn't in this camp, but he said hi in one of the YouTube videos. So if you're watching Blitz Wizard, hi back. I'm glad you're doing well. I think Blitz Wizard actually won a big cash prize at a in-person tournament recently. Okay. So, Jollification is even material with me. He's got pawn center, I don't. He's castled and his rooks are unified. But he also, see, his center pawn is also an isolated pawn. Interesting. I think I'm going to do a quick little switcheroo with the knight. I'm going to drop it back and then probably put it on e6. And then it looks like then I'll be fighting for control of the d file with rooks, and then things get traded. Eventually that isolated pawn is a little bit closer to my king than his. My bishop's already threatening it. I win the pawn on e5, then I have an advantage. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is CoachTortoise. This is Daily Chess Musings. My handle on chess.com is CoachTortoise. And we are in the last day of this free online summer chess camp. And so I'm taking some time to play games with the participants of the camp. And we are playing 10-minute games. I have been teaching chess for... Oh, he moved. Cool. I've been teaching... That's an interesting move. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that. Interesting. That could be a mistake. Let me take a moment here. or a great move. Not both. It could be neither. It could be neither a mistake nor a great move. Um, I'm really tempted to try and, but I can't quite yet. All right. It's interesting using that pawn for that purpose. Looks like he's going to probably be stacking his rooks in the e-file. Jollification did take some time on that move, so yeah, I've been teaching chess a very long time, 25 or so years in Northern California, and I've coached, many national champion players, players who go to, world junior championships by FIDE and such. And I'm also the scholastic coordinator for CalChess, which is kind of a fancy way of saying that, yeah, I work with all the coaches in the area, and I write the CalChess Journal magazine. So I'm a known figure. You'll see me at a lot of chess tournaments in California. Okay. Well, now I have an isolated pawn too. And here comes this trading of material. Oh, I see. I see. I need to look at my checks, captures, and threats. This is interesting. If I play king f7, I need to worry about knight g5. This is very interesting. You're making me think, Jollification. Good for you. I think, taking's the probably best, but it's going to create some other issues for me. But yeah, taking. I got to trust my endgame skills in a moment. Ooh, he took back with the rook. Okay, this is what I thought. And I'm going to switch. I'm just gonna scoot that. Uh-oh. Jollification. I think you've got me in a little bit of trouble. Good for you. Let's see. All right, I don't want to lose that pawn. But if I don't do anything about that, then rook d7 is coming. And also I'm a little low on time. My king is one step removed. I think moving the king up is, yeah, and then there's that. I'm a little low on time, but I'll play fast. He's got me about 3-1 in time. But many of us have played complete games in about 1 minute, so. And some other people are looking forward to playing me. That's great. It's always a challenge with Jollification. We have a long history together. I walked right into that, didn't I? I needed to, yeah, I walked right into a tactic. Right into it. And that was not because of time. That was just me not focusing for a moment. Good game, Jollification. You got me. You got me. That was fun. All right, let's see who I will be playing next. I like how when you had the 3 minute to 1 minute advantage, you used your time to think of a good plan. Let's see, do I have any more challenges? I thought I had a bunch. Oh, somebody wants to be my friend. Okay, you're my friend now. Any more challenges today? There were a bunch of people who wanted to earlier, and I was playing. Rohan the Great is sending one, and that means he might be cool beaming tiger. Okay. Oh, now I get a lot of challenges. And it said I can't accept. Oh, here's a bunch. All right, all right, all right. Here we go. Let's make sure that I play somebody I haven't played yet. And okay. Hokajamun. And Hokajamun looks like he's got a little bit of a slower internet by this bar up here, so I'm hoping everything works out. Now I need to figure out what I want to do with my knight, because my normal square to put it on is taken. So it's probably going to need to come out, you know, the other way. But I might want to push this pawn first because we are castle on the opposite side, so I'll go ahead and do that. Get my pawn advance going first. Then maybe pop the knight up in here. Maybe I do that first, and that way if I pop the knight up in here and he goes too scared away, it creates some weakness that I can then hit with a5. Okay. Oftentimes when you're castle on opposite sides, it's a race to see whose pawns can disrupt the other king's shield first. And let's see, so shield's disrupted. And I'll probably have time for one, maybe two more games. Now I'd like to get this knight up in this beautiful outpost where it would just sit there in the quadrant of my opponent's king. That's the quadrant that my opponent's king's in, the knight's sitting there. And he's starting his pawn advance. Not really too concerned about that right away. I'm looking for different possibilities. I have a check, and then it's almost checkmate, but then his knight blocks. Yeah, this is the way. And then his knight has to, or her knight has to, their knight has to go to b8. Because with the knight in the outpost here, it's controlling these two squares, and the square in front of the king is blocked. So even though the shield's broken, it's still a little bit like a back rank mate kind of idea. And now I'm going to come over here with my bishop. That opens up a square for the king. So that's interesting. My plan was to go there with the bishop, basically forcing the queen to take it, otherwise it's checkmate. But now that doesn't work. But I'll still say check here. And let's see. We're still very close to a checkmate. But if I go here and say check, his king can escape there. So it might be better to just do the fork. But I'm seeing if I can play the checkmate. I will like to play the checkmate. I could bring in this queen over here, scoot the queen up, and that seems very hard to stop. I think I'm going to go that route. Okay, and then of course that was not pinned anymore. We knew that. Check. King has to go back. When I check with the rook, the king has to go back. Then I say check like this. King has to scoot over. I may have had a faster checkmate there. It could be that, yeah. I think I'm thinking that I had something slightly faster, but I saw this one and I double checked. All right, good game, Hokajamoon. Thank you for being part of the chess camp, and I'm glad I got to play you. All right, let's see. Yeah. And Cool Beaming. Let's do you next. Cool Beaming Tiger. And I'll go ahead and do an e4 this time. And we did talk about the Danish Gambit this week, so I think I'll go ahead and use it too. And then there's that Queen e7 idea. What's the procedure for playing me? My handle is CoachTortoise. And you send me a 10-minute challenge when I'm not playing. The Chigorin defense. Sorry about all the ding-ding notifications. I don't want to get castled. And I will. I am castled and my opponent is nowhere near it. I have a lot of pieces in the game. I'm gonna go ahead and put a rook in the elephant file. Oh, and the king moves out. So you're used to some of those tactics. That's good. Let's see. I can move my knight closer by playing a check. But there's some other fun things I can do too, like queen b3, which unifies my rooks and threatens the belly button. lot of fun getting to play some chess games. I see these usernames. I see you guys doing the homework. We've chatted a little bit. But it's fun to play some chess games. So I have, my rook's already unified. I'm already castled. This is like a Danish, we talked about this, right? Why my opponent's thinking. We'll take a look how this happened. Oh, and he played his move. Okay. I just have a lot more accomplished because while they're winning the pawns, I'm developing pieces. And let's go ahead and move a knight closer. Threat on f7 still. And look at black's position. See, this is quite, frequently when things go wrong against the Danish Gambit. This is what it looks like. Black has all their pieces in their starting positions, and the pawns too. All the remaining pieces and pawns are right where they started. They're ahead by 2 points, but was it worth it? This is the only piece I haven't touched yet, and like a good student of Paul Morphy, I want to, so I play rook a to d1. I have touched all my pieces. Okay, so that bishop comes out, which is good for a couple reasons, but it also makes a weakness over here. I'm tempted to move my knight and say check. I want to get my knight closer. Closer. To my opponent's king. Let's see. Yeah. I like knight d4. I looked at, a lot of different options for the knight there. Okay. And let's see. I think this is the way to go. Now the king's moved away, so it does not have a second defender. And then my idea was to pop the knight in there and say check. Knight is defended enough times. Then the king steps into the e-file, which is rather unfortunate for the king, because when I take something, With the knight, it's going to be a check. Let's see. This has potential to be a really pretty game. This has strong potential to be a very pretty game. I think knight takes f8, check, king f8, and then queen, yeah, this is the way. Now let's double check that I'm not missing a checkmating combination. Which I am not, so go ahead and do this. Forces him to take with the queen. And I think my light bishop might be more useful in the checkmate that I'm looking at. I could just take his queen with my light bishop, but then I lose the... Actually, that's fine. It's fine, because then his king isn't guarding g8, so it is the best move. I was thinking about bishop takes g7 for a second. Alright, so that bishop is pinned. I'm ahead some material now. But, you know, if I go with the checks, his king gets out here. It becomes a little tricky. I don't see the checkmate at the end of that. So, I'm going to go this way. He's kind of stuck. Both bishops are stuck. The rook is stuck. And this will likely be the last game of the day for me, because I have an errand that I need to attend to. But that means, Mr. Blister, next time we play, remind me. And I'm going to be streaming more often this summer, because I want to play you too, Mr. Blister. I like your name. All right. This is still pinned. Ah! But that takes... that takes that possibility away. Let's see. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do this anyways. It was still pinned. His king can't escape up to c6 anymore, but it can... I want to double up on this pawn now, probably. So I'm going to play the slower queen f8. Like I said, a dog goes woof. I am going to have to run after this game because the errand that I need to perform, um, the place that I need to go to closes. Okay, good move. But make sure make sure you are following me on Twitch because I'm going to do this more often. Maybe I'll even do another one this weekend. Okay. Um, and this way, I'll announce it on my blog. So make sure you are go ahead put your email in the blog. Then you see that I'm going to go live on such and such a time. I'll do another one this weekend because it seems like we didn't get to I didn't get to play with a few of you, and I certainly would like to. If I was doing an in-person camp, I would try and get a game against everybody. So unfortunately, the knight is pinned, and I'm already double attacking it. This was another example of the Danish Gambit. And we did 2 lessons on that. You can see the 2 lessons on the opening I used in this. Let me go back, look at, oh, okay, he blocks, good. It blocks one thing, but rook takes and it's still pinned. And this should be checkmate. But I'm just going to look at the game review with you guys real fast. And hopefully that shows up on the stream. Because I just want to add a little bit of context. The Danish Gambit, we did 2 lessons, 2 days worth of lessons on the Danish Gambit. Those are both available on the Daily Chess Musings YouTube channel. Can you guys see the new chessboard, the analysis board, I hope? Let me know if you can. So you get a pawn center, and then you're derailing your opponent's center pawn right off the bat. They take. Cool. Thank you, Chess Sweat, for letting me know. And then if they don't take, yeah, I'd be happy to take. So they take. And then here I could take with the knight. That's called the half Danish. But I like to play the full Danish. And this is the full Danish. And then Queen e7. It gives it a question mark, but you know what? It's an interesting move. There is a lot of trouble that can come to white in the Danish Gambit when black plays an early Queen e7. I play knight c3, getting yet another piece in the game, knight f6. Knight e2, it gives me a star there. I was a little unsure about that, but I wanted to get that knight out, and I wanted something extra in between his queen and my king. He takes, I castle, I get an exclaim, and then moves back, because once, he doesn't want, he took the center pawn, he doesn't want to trade the knights and then have me pin his queen to his king. Looks like knight f4 would have been better there, according to chess.com, but that's okay. And now queen b3, it's still saying knight f4. It really likes the knight f4. And, I mean, you know what? Let's go ahead and look at the moves. Why is knight f4 so great here? Gets both knights up there. Ah! Yep. Okay. Knights are close range attackers. It's pretty good. Pretty good. But I was trying to use all my pieces. So I played queen b3, and now my rooks are unified in the back rank. I'm threatening f7 twice. Third block. I take. Defending. And now there's one piece I haven't moved, so I move that rook. Again, it really likes knight f4. And then apparently I could have done the bishop takes g7. I saw that. I even discussed it. But I wanted to move the knight closer with check. And bishop takes f7. Then knight e6 gets the star. This is what I, liked better than the bishop takes g7. There was a little bit, if I follow the computer's advice here and do this, there's a little bit of hazard because this bishop and queen are already pointed here. This one's already pointed there. And if his rook gets over here, it could give him a little bit of counterattack. And so I wanted to stay in control. And now let's see if I chose correctly for the knight. I did not. Knight takes g7 was a mate in 6. So I missed a really cool mate in 6. Let me go ahead and look at that. This is where I was really, there were a lot of options there that were good, but I wasn't sure I was playing the best one. And that is a check. Yep. Yep. Oh, yeah. It's a really pretty. I was close. I was close to going that route. I really looked hard at the knight takes g7, but I kind of chickened out, took the rook, because I saw, all right, I get this, and then he has to trade his queen off, and then I knew from here I would be all right. I would win the game. So I saw a win. The other move, the knight takes g7, had some potential. And this, at least he has a possibility of winning the game even on the last move. I mean, but imagine, imagine that I do like somehow I do a mouse slip. These things happen. If I drop the queen here or here, he can take that. He's threatening my rook. My rook has to run back because he's threatening back rank mate. But all in all, a very good game, Cool Beaming Tiger, and it fits very nicely with the extra theme of the week being the Danish Gambit. On Monday, I showed you guys an introduction to playing the Danish Gambit and took some requests from my Danish Gambit Great Game Collection. And then Wednesday, I showed you that Emery Tate with the Danish Gambit against Luke Zhao, a student of mine I taught the Danish Gambit to. And then we finished with the Danish Gambit. So all the dots are connecting, as I like to say. Don't be strangers. Even if I'm not streaming, maybe we play a game of chess. When I am streaming, I'll do this again probably this weekend and try and play games with a few more of you. Thank you so much for doing the chess camp with me. I had a lot of fun, and I hope everybody did too. And keep watch of the blog because I will announce my award show there, and then go live and do that. So with that, I'm going to bid everybody adieu. I have a chore to go take care of, and I will see you again next time. So long, everybody.